In the 1980s, personal computing changed everything in the United States and around the world. Almost overnight, personal computers were in every home, every business. Email, business, and personal computing applications exploded. Somewhere in that decade, things took another quantum leap forward when personal computers linked to networks, first locally, then to wide area networks, and then globally. Networked computing environments enabled unprecedented collaboration within and across multiple locations and brought tremendous efficiencies and increased productivity dramatically. As we left the 80s, everything from books, personal data, financial data, proprietary business information, health records, national security and intelligence information, and so much more was stored, accessed, and utilized on this ever-expanding global web of countless thousands of computer networks. The PC trend accelerated as we entered the 1990s, and in 1995, another phenomenon rocked the tech world. Public access to something called the Internet, overnight and forever changed the way businesses and governments delivered services and goods and executed myriad missions, and the way citizens around the world worked, learned, shopped, and entertained. E-commerce, e-government, e-everything, and yes, you've got mail. The era of digital dependence was in high gear and moving at a pace faster than man's ability to manage it. The Internet and the computing and communications technologies upon which it relied fueled transformation to a truly connected world and global economy. Regulated industries of energy, finance and communications, to businesses of every size and governments of every jurisdiction built core operating process and more on the Internet. Following the Internet, thousands and thousands of connected servers magnified an organization's ability to do ever more in what came to be called the cloud, be it a government, regulated business, or business of any size. As the world approached a new millennium, tech talk circulated about a new phenomenon, an Internet of Things, or IoT. In essence, an internet-connected world of devices where everything from your dishwasher and household appliances to planes, trains, and automobiles to a projected 50 billion IoT devices connected globally by 2020. Within this warp-speed tech revolution, the overriding technology concern of the 1990s centered around whether the world would collapse when the clock struck midnight, December 31st, 1999, to begin a new millennium. Y2K was a global technology obsession, prompting massive expenditures on backup, refresh, and contingency planning. Not much happened at 12:01 a.m. in the year 2000. Looking back, we should have worried more about another phenomenon, an almost neglected dark side of the digital age. Theft of information now stored and accessed globally on computers and servers positioned across the planet, and deliberate disruptions of now critical computer, network, and internet-enabled devices, worms and viruses, denials of service, ransomware, critical infrastructure attacks, theft of sensitive data, theft of proprietary information, economic sabotage. These and more remain clear and present dangers to governments, businesses, and consumers. And it is more complicated now than ever before, and growing ever more so. Today, cybersecurity expands beyond traditional IT infrastructure. The IoT is no longer academic. It is here, and as projected, there are more than 50 billion IoT-connected devices. These reside on networks just as computers do. So too do drones or unmanned aerial vehicles, UAVs. So too do smart industrial control devices. Edge and quantum computing are on deck and promise extraordinary benefits and efficiencies, and extraordinary risks as well. Cybercrime actors are more sophisticated and present special challenges. threats have moved well beyond Matthew Broderick in the 1983 movie War Games.
Shall we play a game?
Bad actors today often operate outside national boundaries, making them harder to arrest and prosecute. Nation-states are building both offensive and defensive cyber capabilities. Cyber attacks are weapons of choice for terrorists and present lucrative opportunities for organized crime. Security of data and physical assets. This is why you are here. This is what you do. In one form or another, this is who you are. You are a senior professional employed in a regulated industry, government jurisdiction, or technology enterprise. You are part of an inaugural annual summit that now stands beside the Government Business Executive Forum's other flagship annual conference, EDGE at CES. This is EDGE 22, the Security Summit, and we're glad you're here. Please welcome GBEF Chairman Don Upson, GBEF Program Chair Dr. Barry West, and EDGE 22 Security Summit co-chairs, Vice President and Chief Security Officer of Dominion Energy, Adam Lee, Senior Vice President and Chief Information Security Officer of Discover Global Financial Services, Sean Calfin, and Vice President and Chief Security Officer of Avangrid, Brian Harrell.